Good afternoon. It is October 2nd, 2025, and it's a Thursday, and we are in the 5 p.m. hour, and settlement is 6766 and three quarters. Great. Kind of. We have NFP tomorrow, so we have big concerns. I was sent a headline that the August numbers were revised from 54,000 added jobs to, wait for it, negative 3,000 jobs. When I first read it, I thought it was like, oh, okay, it went from 54,000 to 3,000. That's very bad, but it said negative 3,000. That's funny. So it's funny because we have a top here. This is essentially the top of the market before NFP and as the quarter starts. So if there was ever a top, this would be the top. If this is a top, this would be the top. So if we do not get the hold of this week's low here, we're just going to call this contract low, right? We're just going to call this contract low moving forward for now. 6611 is contract low. If we don't hold this, we have big issues. I have to laugh because it's like we're still bullish, right? But there's no way that they're finally going to give us the generational bear that we've been looking for. The generational bear to me, so that way you guys know, is not, oh, this is the current contract. It's not the tariff announcement low. It's not 5,000. It's 3,000. That would be the generational bear. You know, everyone thought this was a generational bear when it was just a dip in a bucket. That 3,000 and at minimum 4,000 would be the generational bear. And I just don't see it. I just can't see it happening right now. I mean, like, it makes sense. It's in theory, yes, but it's just like I can't support it. I cannot support that. I cannot, in good faith, tell y'all that all this buying that we've been doing since the bottom, that all this buying that we've been doing since the bottom is moot. I just can't. I just can't back that up. There's no way I can really, say that definitively. So I'm just gonna say it in theory. In theory, this is the top. So, I'm just gonna call it this now. I'm going to officially say that yes, this is the top. But I pray, I pray that I am wrong, because I would be pretty sick if all this buying that we've been doing since the bottom is just going to be wiped out, because they want to start telling the truth about the job market. Ever since 2022, I was sent a chart in the chat that essentially showed that the S&P 500 kept climbing in 2023, obviously, the Biden year. And after ChatGPT's release, job numbers have been steadily going down and down and down and down on paper. And even I say, like, hey, this is actually, like, in theory, this is actually worse than, in terms of job numbers, this is actually worse than what they're saying, which is why the negative $3,000 print is super, super, super funny. So yeah, when we line up the current 20-day when we line up the current 20-day discount, it's essentially right above contract low. So that's essentially why this level of contract low is still our point of reference. Like we said that this was a great Thursday close buy. It ended up being a Thursday close buy. That turned out really well. But right now we are under the assumption that this could be the top for, at least for the quarter, because it's the timing is there for it to be the top. The timing is there. The theory is there. We are trying to close below that high, but I would love, just love to see a move up for the rest of the session, for the rest of the quarter. I'm gonna say it officially, but I hope I'm wrong. That's really all I could say. How did they do it? So this day, I think I even have the trade here. I didn't take many trades this week. But it was essentially this sell here to this buy, this sell here, and then I pretty much stayed out of the market here. And then today I took something after they took a PD array. It was like 1 p.m. here. No, that's not 1 p.m. No, that is 1 p.m. Yeah, 1 p.m. is somewhere around there. They took that, created a inversion here, and then I bought blind. I was trying to get something here, but they didn't tag me, so I bought there. But not really much trading this week. I just didn't feel like it, honestly. I had said on Monday that you could literally just hit a limit order on the week's open. Caught something here on this day, or just the lower day. Caught something here to here that would have been lit. I didn't take it, but it was something that if you already know what levels we're looking at, you could have done that, especially after I called out in the chat like, hey, we're holding previous day's low. And then right at 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock, bow, takes everything out. And then the next day takes it all back out again. This is 9:30. Where's 9:30? Here's 9 o'clock essentially. They take the open of 9:30 if you go lower. Yeah, let me go lower so that way you know. 9:30 comes in here. They take it here, and then you could have blind bought at 10 a.m. safely and got your 160. That's a 160 move here. Up to here, I think it's 80, but I think up to settlement it's like 160 something. So yeah, I can't in good faith recommend this be a Thursday close. You could take it if you want. But if you are a bear, this is really your opportunity to try it out. But if you're a bear, if we hold this low here, then that's continued higher prices. I could delete this now. Hold this, that's continued higher prices, and yeah, that could be the top right there. NQ is probably the same story. I'm just gonna take a peek at it. We've closed above the previous days, the previous all-time high. The last added volume was here, from what it looks like. No, this is the last added volume here. And now we've closed above the all-time high. So really, it's all about NFP tomorrow and seeing what the numbers are. If it's a bad number or if it's a scary or even worse number, we have issues. Now, I was peeking at this earlier. This was the block that we were looking at, right? We could have bought here. You would have taken a massive amount of heat here, minimum, or here. This would have been the lowest. This Thursday low ended up being where they wanted to go, because that's the first block here during this up run. They run it here. And how do they close on Thursday? Super down. Friday, Saturday, Thursday close buys. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. What a good profit that is, huh? What a good profit that is. So we want to see if they keep going higher. They should keep going higher, even if the job numbers becomes an issue. Bitcoin is very much not the market itself, but it's its own entity. So this going higher is beautiful, because if you're holding anywhere lower than this, if you have any positions lower than this, you are safe. It's super safe. And there's no real reason, at least that I see, that Bitcoin is going to roll over and become a problem. So yeah, this could be the top. This is the top as far as we know, but we want to be wrong with this analysis. We want it to be right down here, and we got it, but we want to be wrong up here. Everything lines up for it to be the top, especially if job numbers come in and say, we have an issue. Maximum employment is one of their is one of the Fed's goals. So if it turns out that we have serious issues in the job market, finally they want to tell the truth about it, then we'll be seeing legendary lower prices. In part thanks most and for the most part, thanks to the AI demons. I do want to look over here for fun just a little bit because I want to show how we could have called the bottom during COVID. So this is the start of the quarter. This low here would have essentially been the bottom, mainly because we rejected a macro low of 3,000, came back up, started the new quarter here. I think Trump spoke right at this bottom, right at this candle here, right at the bottom. Next week, essentially, we closed Thursday here, and that would have been your Thursday close, and that would have been the start of your portfolio, essentially, and you would have been safe during 2022. If you were to call the bottom here, it would be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Nope. This would have been the bottom. I remember this being an Unk day. So that would have been the bottom here. And that would have been right down there where that red line is. Would have been the start of your portfolio. And then for this year, this would have been the start of your portfolio. Let's see if they retest it. I don't want them to. I really want to be wrong in saying that this is the top, but this is something that we have to genuinely look out for. So if you're a bear, be careful. If you're a bull, down here at contract low. All right. You have a blessed day.